All right, so let's do the tips first. Three tips when combining together in combination, you actually can powerfully work to lose that fat that is all over our bodies. In particular, it's around our gut. We know diets don't work, right? I mean, they never have, they never will, because it's all based on deprivation. You're depriving yourself. You don't want to do that. Why is it harder for those of us over 35? I've got 3 decades on that, but because we've lost a lot, including hormones, reduced activity. We're more sedentary, less exercise. The older we are, the more toxicity we've been exposed to. And unless you found a way to clean out your system, like you're changing your oil and filters in your home, we have to change what's in our bodies. And we can actually get rid of the junk so that our body naturally will start to repair itself. It's an amazing creation. Toxic food is everywhere. If you're looking at cans and boxes and bags, read the first 5 ingredients. If you can't pronounce those words, probably shouldn't be eating it. Sugar, addicting. It's like a drug. It's like cocaine in our brains to detox from sugar. So to detox, it's not going to be pleasant, but it's not going to be horrible either. Maybe a few headaches and, just kind of lethargy, but it doesn't last more than maybe 12 to 24 hours. So you can do it if you're serious about getting the body detoxed so that your fat can soon be flushed. Stress is at an all-time high for all of us. We just live in a go, 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 go economy. And I'll tell you, when if you go in and do tests, you will see some of these tests are amazing because they will show up as your cortisol is off the charts. I've talked to 2 women in the last 7 days, both of which had the same test done, and it is off the charts. So they're like, how do I, do I do yoga? Do I have to just start meditating? What do I have to do? And I said, look, there's a quick way to do it. They're called adaptogens. And I will show you about that in a bit. Also, REM sleep. Very few of us are getting good REM sleep. So I know this sounds really depressing, but it's really not. I found a way in 2018, and I need to share this because if I don't, guess what? You miss out. I don't come from you or to you as a book student. I've been in the fitness, health, gymnastics, teaching business since oh my gosh, 84 when I graduated from college. So from that standpoint, I've always eaten clean. I've always looked at how I can fuel my body for best performance. When you work out 7 hours a day, like I did with gymnastics, and then teaching, I never taught for money, but I did teach because I loved it. But teaching, 1, 2, 3 classes a day, yikes, it adds up. So I I preach to you for what I do. How about that? All right. 3 tips for a lifetime of weight wellness, which is what we're after, right? Detoxing the cells from the cellular level, boosting the metabolism. And I'm going to talk to you about ways to do that, and stress reduction. So you're probably thinking to yourself, detoxing cells, like, that's one I don't really know about, but maybe boosting metabolism. Yeah, I know I need to work out more and get my muscles going, but do you know why? And then stress reduction, do you know where the fat uh, starts to grow in our bodies? It's around our gut. Stress fat is the visceral fat around our gut, and we have to get rid of it. So this is just a little video. I don't know if it'll show or not, but I'm going to try it. I've got the link here. So I'm going to turn this on. This is just a 2-minute video about blood cells and the toxicity around blood that's been detoxed and blood that has not been detoxed. And I love showing this. All right, here we go.
What you're about to see is live blood under the microscope.
Toxins. Okay, so let's get rid of that. And we'll go on to the next slide. Pretty cool, though. I first saw that in 2018. And if you investigate the scientists that did these close-ups, he's legit. So detoxing our body, that is phase one. You saw the cells, you saw the junk, the triglycerides, the sugar. There's different ways to figure out what's in the cells, which he obviously knows as a scientist, but we want to have a disease-free, healthy body. And what does that mean? That means we've got to get our body back from the bad, acidic, to the good, alkalinic. How do you do that in a, user-friendly way? See, if you are acidic, your body is open to and will grow disease. Cancers they thrive in an acidic body. Alkaline bodies, cancer cannot grow. And that is factual. Alkaline bodies, how do you get alkaline? Do you drink lemon water all day? I know it sounds kind of oxymoron because lemons are acidic, but it works just the opposite. Yes, you can drink lemon water from morning to night. And then when you're sleeping, that's 5 to 8 hours without. So the bottom line is there's quicker ways to do this. And based on how your days go, there are alkaline foods. And I can get you some lists of the foods. If the cucumbers and the celery, that was always a big deal. And but how many of us can actually drink celery juice all day long? I know I couldn't. Okay, the second one, metabolism. Oh, the M fell short. Okay, second one, detox the cells first, metabolism second. What is the metabolism? The metabolism is simply our engine. It is our furnace in our body. It is our muscle. It is the muscle that we have in our body. What happens when we age? Our muscles start to go down because you're not as active and probably because you're not using resistance type weights, bands, and or your human body to, just give those legs, those arms, the behind a workout. Resistant activity is crucial. We lose muscle after 40, especially. It happens every year, just percentage goes down. And if we don't have muscle, our metabolism then is suppressed. How do we get that metabolism boosted again and humming, working, burning the fuel we eat on a daily basis? Well, Dr. Arciero is our chief science officer, and he has done, oh gosh, hundreds of published studies. Look him up. He talks about protein pacing, and he came on board just as this last year, from the standpoint of our chief science officer, because he had been doing studies on isogenics, outside studies. And these outside studies weren't normal studies. He wanted to see how and why people were losing more weight and keeping their muscle. That's his jam. And he works with a lot of athletes around the world, but he wanted to find out how this was working. He was very skeptical, but when he signed the contract, he saw that there was a no back out clause. Now, what does that mean? A no back out clause is unheard of, especially in our industry, which is direct sales and or network marketing, whatever you want to call it. It's now affiliate marketing. We have a second branch that has its own, platform, its own compensation plan, all that. So from that standpoint, you go, he's skeptical. No back out clause. Never had signed one of those before. And so he said, let's do it. So he started with 4 weeks, 6 weeks, 8 weeks, 1 year studies on this 30-day system. And he was just amazed because this is a plan where you meet the count, the grams of protein that you need on a daily basis to get the muscle retained, sustained, and growing versus depleting and shrinking and losing that muscle mass. So here's the challenge. You have to have on a daily basis, whatever your goal weight is, if it's 150 pounds, 150 grams of clean protein a day. Okay, how many of you are going, there's no way I would be rolling out the door in the morning? You would be amazed at where you can get the protein. Some you can compress and get 24 to 36 grams of protein, like I do with my breakfast and late snack. And I'll talk to you a little bit about that. But think about the protein that we need if we want to have that metabolism working. Most women that I talk to over 40 find that they gain 5 to 10 pounds every year. It's year after year after year. It's usually average 2 to 3 pounds, but they say 5 to 10 pounds. So from that standpoint, how can you stop that cycle? It's called protein pacing, cleaning out the cells, detoxing. And a big one, the third one, is stress reduction. What's happened in our world today, it's unlike when my grandparents were farming, they had their land, there was really no TV because they were working. Today we're bombarded. It's social media, every platform, computers, cell phones. It's just bah, bah, bah. And what happens is our body has a fight and flight mechanism inside. The fight is danger, danger. So boom, you just go into this Superman mode, which is the cortisol kicking in and all these different hormones to allow you to stay safe. But the fight, flight, you should go back to normal after that. That's what has happened in our world today. It stays up. It is fight, 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 fight. And with that, the body goes into this, oh my gosh, I've got to keep everything. I'm afraid. So just like the bears, that slumber, they eat and eat and eat so they can slumber. This is the same thing. You got all these stress hormones floating around. Unless we get rid of those stress hormones or bring them down to even keel, you're going to continue compiling the fat around the gut. So when we're born, we're born with X amount of fat cells. They either grow like grapes or they shrink up like raisins. And you can see the visual difference on your body. Think of your body as grapes, plump and round, and that's the cushy stuff that we grab on our waist and our legs, whatever, back of the arms. But if you've got the raisins, meaning the fat and the toxins have been released from these cells, wow, that is a firm body. And I think that's what all of us aspire to. I don't think anybody wakes up in the morning and says, I love being fat. I don't think they do, because there's a lot of things that come with being overweight. And it's always having to do with a doctor or big pharma. You tell me if I'm wrong, but I don't think so. So Isogenics, I'm going to tell you about how you can try this 30-day system for $16. Okay, it's not a gimmick, promise. The company's celebrating 23 years this month, so they are just excited about paying it forward, passing it on. So 23 third-party studies published in peer-reviewed journals, medical, health, nutrition. You can look them up on isogenicshealth.net. Every study is there. You can just dig as deep into it as you want. There is medical weight loss today. And so Dr. Joshua Plant, another one of our former CEOs, chief science officers, is talking about the GLP-1s and how Isogenics with the studies, how Isogenics is a perfect partner for those who are on that injection, because it'll give you the protein you need. What happens when people get off this GLP, they've lost muscle and fat. So then what happens? Your metabolism goes. How do you boost that metabolism? You've got to have the protein. So it's so good if you can just start on the GLP-1. And I know that they say, the hunger diminishes and all that jazz, but it's satiety. It'll satiate you regardless, being on this or not. If you're on this 30-day system, believe me, you'll feel like you're eating all day long, but you never feel hungry. That's the beauty, because you're not just eating the carbs and the sugar, which go away in minutes, basically. So look into this and, do your own due diligence. I'm the messenger. Isagenixhealth.net. No back out clause. Nobody in this industry is doing it for sure. And I would just go out, find some company that does the no back out clause. And we pay a lot of money for these studies, by the way. So it's a science-backed, results-oriented program. And they have been for 23 years. 23 years ago, when Dr. John Anderson, who basically was a formulator, he was a formulator for all the big companies, like 600 plus health food companies, created over 2,300 products. And he was the guy that put the minerals and the vitamins and, all the phytonutrients and the adaptogens, all that stuff together and put them into bars and shakes and drinks. But retail gets expensive. And so what did the companies do? They cut back. His budget was always cut back on. So he had to water down his magic. And he said, I'm sick of it. People are not getting the results they should be getting. I'm going solo. He ended up finding Jim and Kathy Coover, who had a lot of experience Kathy took 3 companies to the top. And Jim was a lawyer, so he had done all the compensation plans for many companies, making sure they were legal. So they teamed up. Dr. Anderson, who has the biggest botanical garden, he's now not with us, he's deceased now, but he had the biggest botanical garden in Arizona, which was the biggest in the world. He was bitten by a brown recluse spider in his garden, and it just inflamed his leg, the toxins, and he was put in the hospital. And basically, the outcome was, we have to cut your leg off, Dr. Anderson. And he went, heck no. So he called a buddy. The buddy got him out of that hospital, and he went to his lab like a mad scientist. He's putting all these herbs and plants and things that have detoxification properties to them, drawing out properties. He made a concoction and he saved his leg. That's the first product that was introduced in Isagenix. It's called Cleanse for Life. It has got, I don't know, I think up to 100, maybe 99 different minerals and every botanical you can imagine that has drawing properties. It is the magic behind getting clean, getting the body detoxed. And if you don't know if you're or if you're toxic or not, do you eat food? Or do you grow your own garden with no pesticides or anything in the ground? Do you shampoo? Do you use skincare? Do you clean with cleaning products in your home? Do you drink water? Do you breathe air? You're getting toxicity from all areas. So there's no way you can avoid it unless you live in a bubble. Getting the body clean once a month, twice a month, 4 times a month. I like doing 1 to 2 day cleanses. You drink 4 ounces 4 times a day. You have 2 protein snacks, and that's a cleanse day. And of course, water, lots of water, but that's a cleanse day. And we do those once to twice a week. And the other 5 days are fork and plate and shake. So middle one is stress reduction. That's in the Ionic Supreme. We also have now adaptogen elixir. So we have the adaptogens. What are adaptogens? Well, they're plants. They adapt to the environment for which they are planted. Hawaii, Alaska, 2 different environments. The plants that start growing there adapt to that freezing environment or sun. And that's what they do in our body. If our body is raging, out of control, stress hormone is way out the top of the head, it brings you back to that equilibrium. And same, if you're sluggish and underwhelmed, it brings you up to that equilibrium. So this is a huge product. I call it the mommy juice because moms with young kids are always stressed out. I remember, and this is just such a beautiful product because you will start seeing that the belly fat does start to melt off. It's truly, it's not woo-woo, it's not hocus pocus, but when you can remove the toxins from those fat cells, then the fat cells can be flushed down the toilet with your intermittent fasting and cleanse for life protocol. It's beautiful. Protein pacing. How do you boost metabolism? You up your protein equal to your goal body weight. Our shakes have 24 to 36 grams of clean protein. We do both plant and undenatured whey. We get the whey from happy cows in New Zealand. It's the only place in the world that farms in season. No shots, no antibiotics, no steroids, no pesticides. It's clean, undenatured whey. when it has less than, I don't know, 4%, I think it is, of milk byproduct in it. And it's not heat reduced and then reconstituted. It's cold processed. It's a beautiful shake. They are so good. There's lots of different flavors, but it's a meal replacement. So during the 30 days, you're going to do 1 or 2 days of intermittent fasting. And then the other days, 2 shakes a day and 1 fork and plate meal, which of course we show you the proportions of meat to veggies, etc. But you're also going to get snacks during the day. 2 snacks a day, both with the meals and the cleanse. And then there's some accelerator, which is a metabolic booster. It's not ephedrine, it's not a drug, but it does help to boost metabolism and keep it rolling for you. And then a flush at night, which helps to empty things out. This is not a poop cleanse. I have to just reiterate, no poop cleanses here. This is all peeing out in the toilet bowl. You are going to be urinating it out. And believe me, the flush helps people get regulated. They helps them get regular. So here's the deal that the company has put out. That's $330 and that's $629. Okay, these are the wholesale prices of the 3 packages. I have an affinity for the middle one because you get everything from the first package, and you get snacks, energy drinks, you get a little mixer blender and protein crackers. So you get a lot more. And I'll show you what price you can pay for it right now during the special. The $629 package is basically everything plus the vitamins and the organic greens, which I love because sometimes you can't get all the greens in that you need. And there's a variety. 1 scoop of the greens, I put it in my shake, and it gives me like 50 or 45 different veggies that don't just get formulated in a lab. We get Vitamirs, which are the real sourced nutrition from that plant. So there's a huge difference between fortification and just reviving it in a laboratory versus taking the real deal, which is what this company's always been about. Here's the price. Oh, let's look. The average shake with what we offer is less than $4 per meal. How much do you pay for meals today? I always ask people this. This one poster, that was shot 10 years ago. Today, I would not even be off base if I said you go to a breakfast somewhere, it's going to be $15 at least. Okay, so here's what you can get these for. What happened to my, oh my goodness. Okay, sorry about that, you guys. Okay, the first package, the $330 package, which I have a private room online, and I take whoever starts with me. I think the next one I'm doing is the 30th of March. You pop in there once a day, 5 minutes, 2 minutes, get, some good information. If you want to stay there for hours, you can. But it just basically says, okay, day 1, we start on the shakes. So for the first 3 to 4 days, we do shakes, and then we do the cleanse, and then we do the shakes. So you can get this package, the 330 package, for $16 by asking 2 of your friends to come in with the same package. They come in with the same package. The rebates and the thank yous from Isogenics puts back into your bank account within the first 2 weeks. So before your credit card is even due, you're going to get refunded $314. So the out-of-pocket cost is $16. I mean, that is unheard of. And it's free shipping first order. Second package, the premium, which has the snacks, the energy drink, etc., is $35 for the whole. See, there's the 5 up there. Oh, no, that's not right. It's $31. So the one must be over here in the blue somewhere. The package costs $405. $31 out of pocket. Invite 2 friends or family members. Both of them purchase the same package. You're going to get reimbursed all the way up to your out of pocket is $31. The third package, the value package, has the vitamins. It's got the new NAD product, which is, reverse engineering our DNA, basically, is what that is. Amazing, amazing system. But 2 friends come in with that package, it's going to cost you $99 out of pocket. And you will get direct deposits weekly into your account, and you'll see you paid that much. Now, if you want to invite more friends, then there's more money. But this is just a friend and family deal. It's like giving you a coupon to go shopping at XYZ store. This is the way the company has done it. You don't have to be a rep. You don't have to build a business. Just come in as a customer, share it with two friends. I'll help get the verbiage out and the info and the marching orders. It's all very systematic. And you guys, you will feel so good. You will feel so good when you get through the first 3 to 5, maybe 7 days. You will feel like your energy has been restored. Like, where has this been my whole life? I have a lady that says, I feel like I ate a rainbow. And it's not woo-woo, you guys. It's science, which is what this whole company is based on, is science. So the offer is good until the end of this month. So you've got to find those two friends and let's, show them this video if you want to. That's fine. But there's proof. 23 years of doing this. There's millions of customers on these products. Some have been with this company for 23 years. Why? Because when you put something in your body and you feel and you see the results, you go off that product and you go backwards to maybe inflammation, joint pain, not sleeping well. You're going to be on a lot of these products for life. It's just taking your grocery shopping, exchanging it for clean food. And if you want, you can make money with the company, you can get referrals, or you can get your groceries for free, with just sharing a couple people a month. It's up to you. There's no pressure to do anything outside of just trying the products. And there is 100% money back guarantee, which is a beautiful thing. I have a freebie. It's a link that I was going to put in the chat, but I'll just email it to you. And it basically is checking your own pantry. Do your own inventory checklist right now, because I think when you go through your pantry and do your own, just self-evaluation, you'll see that this really could be a benefit to you. And when people start asking, what are you doing? Are you going to say, I'm not telling you? No, it's natural to share with a few people. So the pantry download is there, and then calendar, I'll send that in the email as well. Book an appointment with me. I love this company. I love these products. I'm passionate. I had tried everything clean my whole life because I was a gymnast. I taught fitness. And you know what? The first 3 days on this product line, my rotator cuff didn't have the inflammation. I could lift my arm up without it hurting. There's a product called Collagen Elixir. I drink that twice a day. My knee that I had surgery on in 1982 never straightened out. It was always just kind of bent, well, like so. It wasn't hyperextended like my other one. 3 days, it starts cracking. 4 days. The 5th day, it's completely straight. With the cracking and crinking, didn't hurt. But that collagen is 5 grams marine medical grade collagen. It goes just to where your body needs it. Back of the hands, you notice that within 3 days. Your skin, mine went right to my knee, and I will never be without that product. And I actually took a video the day this happened. I'm so glad I did. But we can't make claims. This is not curing. It's not treating. It's not saying it's going to be a miracle. But you know what? Our body is the miracle. And if you treat your body with respect, get the junk cleaned out at least once a month, you guys, honestly, you are going to be thankful because you're either spending your money up front now on good nutrition, or you're spending it this second half of your life and you're paying big pharma and the medical community to help you with getting your body healthy. You'll never get healthy if you go that route. We are in an environment where, you know what? They like keeping us sick, which is why the food we eat is so contaminated with toxic buildup. One last thing before I close. The European nations only allow 300 toxic chemicals in their food. The same production companies, Kraft, some of the big companies, they make food for the European markets and the American markets. But our government, for the past however many years the FDA has been in operation, 1,000. There are 1,000 chemicals that have no research. Maybe a handful of them have research. But now you're starting to see all these claims about cancer causing, and the lawsuits are starting. Now we have MAHA, so hopefully we'll get our crap together from a governmental standpoint and start getting rid of some of the red dyes that have been available to all of us for, said 4 decades, 5 decades. So with that said, I'm going to close this out and just say, look, it's your life, it's your body, and it's your health. I'm just offering a possibility. And if this is something that you want to get, more info on, let me know, please. Just send me a DM or email or just book an appointment on the top of my profile page, and I'll get you whatever information you need. The biggest thing I say is put this stuff in your body. Let your body tell you if it's any good. I appreciate your time. Thank you for coming and have a great day.